Okay, now shapes of 3D printing. I see a lot of people, um, or a lot of sales and 3D print shops 3D print a lot of designs, right? And they focus more on how an item should look and not on the actual manufacturing process. What do I mean by that? This is a control grid that I made for this Game Boy working Cow Kitty V90 for me, right? Now I made it boxy because look at this design, right? Originally it's boxy. I wanted it to retain that look after I made something for it, right? Look at that. I know it's a little sharp and it's not very comfortable, but please tell me that you think it's cool too, because I think this is very cool, right? Now, how did I get here? Well, I had to do a lot of prototyping, right? First, I started with this simple prototype. This is the first prototype, and you can see the shape. I first made this just to see if it fits, and then I saw that it wasn't fitting properly and I cannot hold this properly. So, okay, redesigned it, and then I believe this was the second prototype, right? It is sitting a lot better, but as you see, this is loose. There is nothing to hold this in place. But so I moved on when I started making this. I broke it a little bit, but the shapes you see straight. The thing you have to understand is 3D printing is layer by layer, straight from the bottom to the top. So as you see over here, some edges it's doing okay. You see a little bit of nuggets there, but I don't worry about it. This little bit is okay. You see these little bit of impurities because I didn't set the last filament out properly first. And this is because I was trying to chop this off so it would fit. But you see, that's how you should start 3D printing first. It's based on shapes. You can't just think, oh, it's a square, I need it to be a circle. Yes, you're thinking of a circular handheld, which you can do based on more experience and more knowledge. But I see a lot of people starting circular design straight from the bottom and just give like one straight design, and that's not gonna work. It does depend on your 3D printer's capability and your design and how harsh the angle is, right? If it's above 45 degrees, of course you're gonna start seeing it off. But when you make a simple clean design like this, let's show you prototype 3, and then this was prototype 3. As you see, this was too big. See a little bit of nugget coming out here. It still looks clean, and over here you can see it start, but I could make a grip over here, but though I need it, this feels great and this looks cool. And there will be a circular version I will make for this, but always start off with what's easiest and the easier shape that is for the 3D printer. Give it the best bet to have a clean shape, to have a cleaner design, and then you will see it will look something like this. Yeah, there are little offs and nuggets, but I think that's the charm. People forget about the charm of these things, and that is what makes a 3D printed product real nice, you know? And we should look more into getting proper shapes. Now that I've gotten into this shape, and I think this is a finished product, with this I can work off of making more rounded shapes, because this is what prints properly. Now I can make this round, and even the round bits, circular bits, or cylindrical bits will not come off poorly. Now if you're complaining about, if someone complains about it having sidelines, remember, you cannot do this customization with injection molding. You can only do it once, and then you have to do it again, and the entire machine has to change with the design. A 3D printer can just do this. Just put the design in as an STL file. You can just do this, and it's still pretty cool. And if you do it right, I don't want to brag, but I think that's a pretty clean looking STL. No, that's a pretty clean layer. And that's the thing, if your 3D printer is set properly, it is going to do clean layers. Let me show. This is one of my finished product. Let me show you how many more tests I've done. Infill. To increase strength, you can do more infill or less infill. Now sometimes for testing, look at this gold one. This I paused just to show you, like it's just layer after layer, right? Like once I fixed the issues, whether this I only stopped because look, I was seeing this bent up a little and it turned out a little bit of the old filament was left over. But look at that, this is the inside. Now I want to go more in depth and eventually show you more concepts of 3D printing, but start simple. Start with boxy flat shapes and design your way up to more round shapes and see what your 3D printer can handle and what your skill level is as a maker and what you can handle in designing. Don't just start off with a round design and then get a poor quality product. Like look at this 3D printed watch that I got online. It looks cheap, it looks poor, and I would say my 3D printed fine, but look, it's the material and I would have to redesign this. But there, you know, I'm no shame to the designer. Their main goal was to make it look like a watch, and they did, but they completely ignored the fact that it's being made on a 3D printer, and you have to print it on how a 3D printer likes to manufacture. In engineering, it's all about the manufacturing process, and then you design around it, okay? And then you design around it while thinking of the purpose. Look, I would say this is a complete design. I think this is pretty nice for me, and I like it. I'm gonna put it up on my Volangtech shop. Depending on if you do like it too for your Pow Kitty, as this is a game not a lot of companies support, and I'm going to support by making parts for this and a few other stuff. But this is gonna be my first product on Volangtech, and hopefully you will learn a little bit of what I mean by shapes with 3D printing. Shapes are important. Don't just straight up go and make something circular. First, start off small, start off straight, start off with your 90 degrees and 180 degree angles, and then slowly fillet off edges or cylinders, or do it with a more easier, you know, radius of cylinders and diameters, so that your 3D printer can slowly work up its way into the design. Well, happy printing. Thank you guys.